Good cold spring morning. It is blustery. It's going to try to rain on us. You can see it's not far from me right there. You can see here in the background right there along the mountain right there. That's all rain. It's heading our way here. Cows are out here in the pasture just eating right here. First thing I'm going to do is take care of the water for the yearlings and the cow-calf pair. And then I'll try to get out here and get a good look at these guys really quickly before it starts pouring on me. I'm not sure if I'm going to make that. So we'll try to get this taken care of as soon as we can and get everything taken care of. That's it. Let's get to work. Really quickly here, I'm not going to show watering this morning. It's just too windy for me to try to set the camera up. It'll just continue to knock the camera over. You've probably seen me water before anyway, so it's nothing exciting. I got mom and the baby right here. I probably will give her some treats as much as I can, but it is starting to rain already, so I just need to kind of be quick here. All right, I think I found a spot here where the camera will stand up while I'm waiting for it to, who's got a milky face? Here you go, mama. I think I found a spot here where it'll kind of stand up. I can give these girls some treats while they're waiting. Who got a milky face? Who's got a milky face? Look at that little milky face. You got milk all over your face. Not sure if you can see this little girl right here. She has gotten milk all over. Hey, mama. All over her face. Oh, you got a milky face. She got milk foam coming out her mouth. Here. You got a little milky face, huh? So funny. She's getting pretty big, and it's actually not far from probably when we'll try to wean her. She's about let's see, 5 months old now, so we'll probably try to wean her maybe here pretty quick. See what happens. Do our best. Get over here, mama. You smucking you baby. There you go. But we'll try to get these guys taken care of here. They like them some treats. This one here, this one used to have trust issues, but we've come a long way from that. Hi, babe. Here. All right, that's about all I'm gonna get this morning. For this, I'm going to throw the camera in because it's going to get knocked over even where it is. So I'm going to get this put in the truck and just watch the water. Boy, I'll tell you, it's definitely springtime in the Rockies. Yesterday it was 80 degrees. I was putting up siding on the shed, and now it's 44 degrees and the wind is howling. Definitely springtime in the Rockies. It's going to try to rain today, possibility of snow even. I know it seems kind of crazy because I just started doing some of my raised bed stuff and preparing and getting weeds sprayed and that kind of thing. And I know many people are like, what the heck, why haven't you planted yet? And that kind of thing. But this is exactly why. We don't, our last frost day is like May 20th or May 21st, somewhere right in there. So this is exactly why I haven't got anything planted yet. So I've still yet to work my cows here. I've got to get those heifers in. I'll double check them today. I don't think that anybody was close, but you know, they can progress pretty quickly here. I'm not worried about the cows. Every cow I've got has had a good number of calves, and so they do that every year on their own, no problems, that kind of thing. I do try to keep an eye on them, and if I do see something, I'll definitely try to interdict and help them and that kind of thing. But typically they don't have any problem whatsoever. But I do want to get the heifers in. That way, if if I do start to see that they're struggling or whatever, I can keep a closer eye on them, and I can ensure that they are taken care of if they do start having problems. It, it just seems like I get one decent day, and that day is always when my wife is working. And when she's working, it's just too big a job for me to do by myself. If it's 4 or 5 cows, 4 or 5, 10 calves, heifers, whatever it is, I can manage that by myself, no problem. But when you start looking at 50 animals, it really becomes too much of a chore to try to sort cows by yourself, to isolate which ones you need, which ones you want to separate and get pushed out in the pasture, and then those that you're trying to keep back, and it just becomes just too much work. Cows can be surprisingly agile and fast, and really difficult to herd or to separate, to sort off if you're by yourself. I can kind of do, I can do the calves, excuse me, I can do the yearlings by myself, because I can kind of push them in to the small section of the corral by myself. And then I can kind of move the steers to the front, and a little bit of flagging. I've got this actually set up really well right now so that I can manage them and sort them by myself. But that's partially because they're very used to going in the small corral. Every time we get a new bale in here and that kind of thing, they move in there. So it's easy to push all of them in, push all of them into the back corner, and then one by one I can sort off who I want out of there, get them back into the bigger part of the corral, and then work whoever I need at that time. But the cows are used to being out in the pasture, and they're not familiar with that as much as the yearlings are. They've all of our cows, all of our heifers, the bull, everybody have been worked through our system more than once. That said, they don't get worked through the system, 2-3 times a week, because we're getting feed in, or we're clearing out the corral or whatever. So it just becomes too big of a job to do by myself. And it just seems like lately, every day that it's nice, my wife is working. Every day that it's bad, it's like today. If you're familiar with large animals at all, when it's windy and the weather's bad like this, they become a little more difficult to work than they typically would be otherwise. They don't want to move as well. They don't want to pay as much attention. They're distracted. They're doing just whatever, and it becomes even more difficult than it typically would be. Here's one fact that you may not know. Many times cows at term are more likely to calve during a storm or right after a storm when it starts to cool off. Studies have been done on this. They're not sure exactly why or what the reason is. They believe that it's due to the barometric pressure, the changes in the barometric pressure going from a low to a high. Like after a storm, pressure comes in, the barometric pressure will drop. And then after that, as the storm clears and it gets typically colder, but as the storm clears, many times during those fluctuations in the barometric pressure, cows at term are more likely to calve. There's a lot of different theories, of course, but some of them are pretty far-fetched. But scientists do believe that it has to do with the barometric pressure and the changes in there. They're thinking that maybe because of the pressure, it's significant enough that the calf gives off enough cortisol that it puts the mother into labor. But that's just a fun fact about storm fronts and different things like that. So when it does get this kind of storm coming in, the pressure's changed quite a bit, and I notice it. I get headaches and things like that. Many people notice it, but this is a likely time that we may see a cow calve, and maybe get a couple here on the ground. We are at term right now within a day or two. Literally, it's like May 8th is when we're supposed to start calving. So anytime right now, and it's very possible we'll have calves on the ground. So just a fun fact. The cows have all dispersed to the four winds, and I don't have access to this pasture for like a vehicle at this point in time. I don't have a four-wheeler over here. So what I'm going to do is I always carry binoculars, and I typically carry a spotting scope. But what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to get a really good look at them with the binoculars, which will be plenty today, I think. I don't see anyone kind of looking as though they're in early labor or anything like that. I don't see anyone stopped, isolated, or their tail lifted or anything like that. So I'm just going to get a good look at them. I'm also going to look for 16-1, and I believe that's her right there. I see her limping a little bit, but not nearly as bad as she has been. So I'm not sure what she did, but she seems to be doing better today. But I'm going to get a good look at these guys with the binoculars, and then a little later here I'll come check them again. Hopefully I'll be able to have better access to them at that time. So with that, I'm going to call it a day on the video here. If you enjoy the content, or if you got anything out of my videos, please do me a favor and like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I really do look forward to your comments, and I hope to hear from you. With all that, thank you very much. Have a great day.